think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. Let's start this off right. Yeah. 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 Y'all know how we do this. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. This is episode 105. I'm joined my co-host, my brother from another mother. Blood couldn't make us any closer. One of the best photographers in the world. My brother, Santana. Say something to the people.
What's good? What's good? What's good? Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. You could have been anywhere, but y'all here with us tonight, and we appreciate that. Much love to y'all. And we got a jam-packed show for y'all, so we just gonna get right to it.
You already know, man. We had the big election that just popped off. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about that a little later, more in depth into the show. But Donald Trump won. He beat Kamala Harris. People are big mad. People are big mad. People are big mad. People are big mad that Kamala did not win the election. And I mean, it hasn't even been 24 hours yet, and the man is making moves. So, like I said, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. I want to salute some of our day ones that's already in the building. Rowan Jack is in the building. Winter Breeze is in the building. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. And for those who are not members of the channel, again, tap into the membership portion of our page and you'll get different access for different parts. Different memberships have different access to the channel. So make sure you tap in. Uh, let's see. Yeah, so we got the election rocking. Um, we thank the people coming in. I feel like I'm missing something. So we got a jam-packed show, like my brother said, man. So I hope y'all ready to get your chit chat going on. And again, stay engaged into the chat. We love love. We love the engagement. And share this link with one of your homies right now that need to get this food. You know what I'm saying? We're about to give y'all this verbal food. You feel me? So that's the type of time we on. A Magna certified badge with the membership. You stupid, Roy Jack. Looking clean though. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. You know how we do. Me and my brother stay, we always stay fresh to death, So, all right, y'all. Y'all already know. First segment of the night, popular opinions. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records, where you go to Instagram right now and stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. Again, on Instagram at OUV Records. Remember, the label motto is create, document, and inspire. First question of the night for popular opinions. And remember, these are not our questions, these are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. All right, first question of the night. Best late night music video show on BET in the 90s. Best late night music TV show, video music TV show in the 90s on BET. Number one, BET Uncut. Number two, Midnight Love. Number three, BET Jams. Number four, Video Soul. I've seen some.
No, I can't lie to you. All I remember is BET Uncut. Man. You know what I'm saying? That's the one I remember.
So you don't remember the rest of them joints? Midnight Love. You don't remember Midnight Love?
Nah.
Midnight Love was popping. That was popping. But so you only remember BT Cut, so you going with BT Cut. The videos was crazy on BT Cut. Like BT Cut videos was hella independent. Them videos was hella independent, but they was able to slide because
It
they
was
going
like 2, 3 in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
And
That's
they go,
how they,
my bad, go ahead.
that's how they was able to slide. I feel it was like 2, 3 in the morning, random, and that's when BET Uncut came on. It was like, oh, okay, let's see what the shits that we see during the day. Let's see how they actually are at night. You know what I'm saying? So it was ill to see that.
BET Uncut was popping because the songs they played at that time, they was not gonna play during the day, mainly because the content and the video quality. Like a lot of video quality was real independent on BET Uncut, but the songs was just as like
Some songs blew up. Some they blew up from BT Uncuts. I
facts,
remember.
facts. That's a fact. But the songs was very risque. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was R&B, whether it was rap, but it was very risque. Midnight Love gave me that real BET like experience because of the whole like they had like their own theme music before they played the videos. It had like a look. It just had like a real just that it was like the original Netflix and chill. If I was an older guy at the time and I got a young lady at my place, we gonna turn on some Midnight Love on BET and watch these like smooth videos while you know what I'm saying before we get to the what I mean. So BET Midnight Love was popping. BET Jams was probably the best overall, which I'm going with because they played the whole video. You get a whole vibe. You could really be up late night and then rock out to your favorite song that was either on the radio or something that you never heard of. Like, I forget the group name, but what was the song? I get so lonely thinking about you. The two girls, it was kind of like rapping, singing.
Mhm.
Uh, but that song blew up, like, and that joint is a classic to this day. I heard that on BET Jams. I seen the video on BET Jams. Video so was popping, but probably a little bit before my time. So, but I'm going with BET Jams. My brother went with Uncut, and I'm seeing the chat going with Uncut, where they get all the, you know what I'm saying? They're going to show all the everything on BET Uncut. You might see a nipple on BET Uncut. So yeah, at 39%, the rest of the world went with BET Uncut. What you think about that?
I'm saying like that's all I remember. I don't remember all the BT jams, and I don't remember those late night. I just remember BT Uncut, and it was just you would see random videos that you would not expect to see on there because it was like it's not as risque as all the other ones, and then you'd be like, why is this video on here? Then you see why. It's like, oh damn, I think it's like I wasn't even prepared because the song got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? And you just go first song, first clip is you know what I'm saying, bomb right in front of you. We're like, well,
Yeah,
we just gonna finish watching this video, see what they rapping about. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Yo, BET Uncut was wild funny, yo. I ain't gonna front though. The person that set it off for real in a big way was Nelly with Tip Drill. When they was able to get the Nelly video of Tip Drill, that took BET Uncut to a whole new level because it was a quality song, a quality video, but the video was showing all the breastises, all the body yaddy on the joint. You know what I'm saying? It was between them and Mystical video, Danger. I don't know
Mm,
if you remember the Danger video where Superhead was popping at the time and she was the leading lady in the video
mm-hmm,
and she was able to show off the breasts and all that in the video because in the original version, where they would still show the video during the day, but they would blur out the breasts. But on BT Uncut, you can see all that. You know what I'm saying? You can
mm-hmm.
see everything. So BT Uncut got unlocked with certain artists and certain videos. You know what I'm saying? Yang Yang Twins, Luda, who else was another one that went crazy on BET Uncut? Like I said, Mystical because they were showing the body yaddy. A couple of Jay Z videos had the areolas out and about. So BET Uncut is still fire, still a classic show. All right, moving on to our next popular opinion question. Uh, best villain in best movie villain on this list. Best movie villain on this list. Number one, Spike from Little Giants. Number two, Mama Fratelli from The Goonies. Number three, Captain Hook in Peter Pan. Number four, Tony Perkins in Heavyweights. Wholesome, undiddy music video.
Mm, I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to
beat.
go with the mom from the Goonies because they dead ass had that whole dead body in the freezer next to the cookies and cream. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that was wicked. And when buddies and them asked for water, she had no problem passing that glass of pink water. Like, yo, here you go, here's the glass. Like, nah, she atrocious for this one, son. Her
Yo,
crazy ass sons. Now I'm going with Mama from the Goonies, son.
yo, that water was wow. Like just hella like bacteria all up in the water. Like just
You just gotta be a crazy soul to just murder somebody, stuff them in the freezer, but not only stuff them in the freezer, stuff them by the ice cream area, like not even by the pause by the the frozen meat rack. You know what I'm saying? Nowhere near that. Nah, just right by the ice cream and Harlan's and cream. You know what I'm saying? Diabolical works.
she was handing out just strokes in a glass with that pink peach water. Like yo, what's going on, Mama Fratelli? But she was a gangster though. She
Yo,
was ready to pop
they hideout was the worst hideout I've ever seen. That was the most gangsters for all gangsters of hideouts. That was on top of the list. So, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Creepy in some back area. You know what I'm saying? By the
yeah,
cliffs. Yeah,
yeah,
son,
yeah.
top tier work right there.
Yeah. And then on top of that, I ain't going front, but Mama was a G though. Like she knew how to get away from the cops. The son's like, yo, how we gonna get away? She like, yo, just chill, nah, man. And there was a whole like car race going on. She slid in the car race and they
Oh
couldn't tell
yeah,
who
did
was
she like it begin the movie like break her son out of jail? That's how the
yeah,
movie started. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
definitely going with Mama Fratelli. She holding it down, son, for her crooked son. She like, nah, my son ain't going to jail. We breaking him out.
Not to mention she ready to pop the kids. You know what I'm saying? They found the treasure. She ready to hit them with the tutu. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all all gonna get this work. Or what are you talking? You talking that ish? All right, we gonna play pirate. You know what I'm saying? Hold that, get in the water. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go with Mama Fratelli as well too. I thought she was the most just yo, she just vile with hers. Like the son was like, yo, mama, toss me the gun. I'm trying to pop one of the yo, they was ready to pop the kids, bro. Like they was ready to pop it even before they even found the treasure. He like, yo, mom, pop, yo, pass me the ooh wop. I mean, pass me the ooh wop. I'm ready to put in this work.
You
Pass me
got mad heart, but you can't shoot. You know what I'm saying? Son can't shoot, son. You know what I'm saying?
how,
Can't
how,
shoot, kid.
how you know he wasn't letting on? Nah, the way he was aiming, like he like dude can't shoot. He was aiming. Like, you know what I'm saying? All right, cool. Put him with Rozzy and Gas, you know what I'm saying? Let him send him back to golf, you know what I'm saying?
Cause they
Nah,
get hella money in Akron, you know what I'm saying?
but what y'all doing in Akron anyway? Y'all grow corn and shit, you know what I'm saying? Nah, but Mama Fratelli, I gotta go with Mama Fratelli. And not to mention, she doing all this work and kept another son locked up in
Yeah,
the
the top Goonie Google of all Goonie Googles. Like, nah, son. You know what I'm saying? In the basement.
in the cellar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Watching
it wasn't even a basement. Yeah, it was a cellar. Yup.
you know what I mean?
Fact.
And he was straight as long as they fed him, you know, 2 day old fruits and watching Casablanca. You know what I'm saying? Like don't bother him. Once he got his Casablanca and that 2 day old fruit, he's straight. You feel me? Yo, I gotta go with Mama Fratelli, yo. Mama Fratelli was a G. Captain Hook, they saying Captain Hook in the chat. Captain Hook was a G too. He coming in your crib, taking your babies, don't
Yeah.
care about nothing, and like, yo, come get him. Holla.
Mommy first said was gonna pop that in. You gonna pop him, bro. I'm sorry, son. Cook Team Mama Fratelli. I'm sorry, son.
She
You
gonna
ain't
pop
even
him?
Did you not see the sons this woman brought onto the world? Nah, son. You got the she had a whole Goonie in the basement, son, chilling,
Who the
chained
baby?
up.
Who the baby father? You know what I'm saying?
Who tapped that? Which one of y'all tapped that, son? Y'all wildin', son.
And not and mind you, the Suns was wild ruthless when they was ready to go to war over the pepperoni pizza. Like, like yo, are you touching my pepperoni pizza? And pulled the piece on it. Like, yo, mama, why you touching my pepperoni pizza? I'm not understanding the rules in here. Like,
Yo, that's a fact, son. You gonna die over pepperoni, son.
he said, let's die with the pepperoni.
No
Yo,
basil on that pepperoni, son. Just, you know what I'm saying?
yo, just hella flagrant, bro. So I gotta go with Mama Fratelli. You went with Mama Fratelli. I see Captain
Mhm.
in the chat. Spike is a hella good one too. But the rest of the world at 48% went with Mama Fratelli. What you think about that?
She scared me as a youth watching that on what was it? What was it on TBS? It was a show. I forgot Friday and a TV dinner and a Friday something. But
Yeah,
it was a program where they would just host movies, right? So that's
yeah,
why the Goonies and yo, man, terrified me as a kid. I'm like, yo, she's a mom. Why is she violating?
yeah, yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
she don't give a damn. She ain't my mom, so she ain't your mom, she gonna off you. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
I got no worries about it.
she's going in, bro. All right, moving on to our next segment. Our next segment, Hollywood Need to Ask Us. We came up with this segment because there's a lot of trash movies that Hollywood has given us that we didn't ask for. We got better ideas, simply straight out point blank. That's more entertaining and more has more value. So Hollywood Need to Ask Us. You want to start this one off?
Nah, you could go ahead.
All right, so Hollywood Need to Ask Us. I want to see a movie based on our college experience. You know how they have the movie like The Best Man, which it was based on college experiences, but they fast forwarded to their everyday life, to their present life, and they talked about the things that happened in college. So their college life affected their present life, finding out that, his mans and them slept with his soon to be wife, but he introduced them, and it was a lot of moving parts to the movie, even though I never agree with him smashing his boy's girl. But I want to see the college years on our college experiences, playing sports, dealing with women, dealing with the whole college experience, and coming from the city and being where we went to is an experience all in itself. So I
Mm.
want to see a movie based on the experiences we had in college, and it was some wild, great times. Whether it was one school to the next, because one school had advantages and benefits, and the other school had advantages and benefits. So I want to see a movie combine those advantages and benefits, put it in one movie, one idea where I probably laugh the most I ever laughed in college in probably all my life. In my college years, I laughed every single day from a healthy place. Like my gut was like, it has so much laughter because it was just natural things that was going on in school that was just funny, and it still sticks with me still to this day. So I want to see a movie based on our experiences, the things that we seen, the stories that was going on, the stories that we was a part of. I mean, we was a part of, brawls. We was a part of just all types of moving pieces when it comes to relationships, football, of course, basketball, just all types of just things going on in college that I feel like it has an entertainment value. And then it's things to learn from that we also did in college as well too. What do you think about that?
I just want to let the audience know I was in the stew at. You know what I'm saying? That's where I was at.
Yo,
Stew at, you heard? That's where I was at. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I was yeah, our college years was definitely an experience. You know, everybody's college years have experiences. But ours was, it was intriguing to say the least because we was going into school, getting stuff that people take for granted now. Like we was first getting laptops and cell phones and graduating high school, you didn't need any of those things. Those were like luxuries, or you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh shoot, you know what I'm saying? You got a laptop, like, oh, you lit. You know what I'm saying? You don't need
yeah,
that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Your desktop work fine. We talking about desktop days with the fat back. You know what I'm saying? So we go back to those days. So it was intriguing to go to college, having a laptop for school, having a phone, and you know what I'm saying? It was just great times for sure.
And not to mention, like, the stories of the BB gun fights. All it took was just one person to go get a BB gun, and then like the half the campus had a BB gun, and we, you know, popping dudes from the window. And then once we run out of BB guns, we throwing peanut butter and jelly from the top of the window, hitting random students with not just like a regular peanut butter and jelly. We hitting them with like Costco sized peanut butter and jelly from like the fifth floor. You know what I mean? Like, this is a long time ago, so we can't get in trouble for none of this.
I was,
But
I was in the Stuac building, you know what I'm saying?
I come on the second floor, and then it's like it looked like Shawshank Redemption on the second floor because you see like the light, because we in college, so all of a sudden like the light, the fixture is out, so now it's just swinging. It's like, yo, what, like we not getting that busy. Like it was crazy in college. It was a crazy time. So I would love to see a movie based on that, stories from myself, from my bro, and put it all into a movie. I guarantee you. I watched some of the videos that I have from the next school that we end up going to, from the locker room to the CCB building, which is very legendary, might I add, at a certain school. It's a very legendary place. It's called the CCB, where the student activity is going on, and it was a lot going on in there. So from the you know some girl got exposed for her extracurricular activity skills. I don't know if you remember that. You know what I'm saying? When the dude got so mad, he put her extracurricular skills on the sheet, and he photocopied the sheet, and he had like 200 copies in the
Hmm.
CB building. I don't know if you remember that. You know what I'm saying? So that was like another situation. It was just a lot going on in that school too. So I would love to see a movie based on that. You know what I mean? But if you had to choose somebody to play yourself and to play me, who would you choose?
To play myself, mm,
One of the new young jits out here.
I need an actor that's homegrown from from the city. Like we can't have like imposters. You know what I'm saying I don't want uh fake accents. You know what I'm saying? People that's from England.
Hmm.
I don't want stuff. So I want some homegrown, up and coming from New York. If you acting, you know what I'm saying, get your funny up, you know what I'm saying? Get your name up out there. We need like homegrown actors because this needs to be people like from the town. You know what I'm saying? It can't be like it just can't. So I don't want nobody trying to impersonate the slang and how we speak and how we put our words together. I want nobody impersonating. I want homegrown actors. So, but in any case, if I had to choose, I would probably he's probably young. Yeah, he's probably 20 now. The young cat from the Shy. What's his name?
Okay. Yeah,
The young
yeah,
dark skinned kid. Yeah, he
yeah,
probably
yeah.
like 20, 21 now. Yeah, so he probably be right at that age.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see that. I can see that. For me, it's a new young kid that's he's really putting in his work. If you look at his credentials, he got credentials, and he's also a rapper or singer. He's on the show called Reasonable Doubt, and he plays the son named Thaddeus J. Mixon. Thaddeus J. Mixon. I think he'll be a perfect me in playing that part. I think he's like 20, if I'm not mistaken. But I think he'll be able to pull this one off as well too. So that's what I want to see. But his credits is crazy. He's in Creed 3. I'm looking at his credits now. He's in Candy Cane Lane, South of Heaven, and Creed 3. And the show Reasonable Doubt. So but he got plenty of other stuff too. But yeah, so that's what I would have playing myself in the college years. So what's yours, bro?
So mine's is I would definitely want to see a one-off movie. It doesn't have to be part of any of the DC other continuity, but I feel as though like with all the Batman movies that had come in the past um and been in the present, like as recently as like 2 years ago, I feel like we need to more focus on Batman's tactical skill set. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that is um showcased enough. And I want a movie to showcase that. So I want the in the comic book, it's Batman versus the League, right? Where it's in a comic book series where the Justice League members go rogue and Batman's the only one to stop. But guess what? Batman got a contingency plan for all of them. You know what I'm saying? He already had the moment he met each and every Justice League member, he analyzed their weaknesses and had plans set. And Alfred had them in the back of the back cave, just in case if something were to happen and you need to neutralize one of them. He had plans for all of them. So I need a movie to showcase how Batman's mind is the most powerful thing a man can have. Because we talking about Green Lantern, The Flash, Martian Manhunt, Superman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Aquaman versus a nigga in the suit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But it's the man's mind that was able to thwart and beat each and every one of them. So I need to see a one-off movie showcasing this in the mastery of how powerful a mind can be. So I definitely want to see that.
yeah. That would be dope. That would be dope, man. That would be dope. Rowan Jack in college, I was a student senator, a student activity coordinator, AV department, student work for study. Okay, all right. Yo,
He was in the stew act just like I was in the stew act.
he was the original.
Stew act. You know what I'm saying?
He was the original Van Wilder out there. You know what I'm saying? That's popping. That's popping. We athletes. You know what I'm saying? Athlete, and we was trying to get to the. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get to the ladies. You know, so that's the type of time we was on. But we had a lot of funny moments in school, though. A lot of funny moments. All right, moving on to our next segment, our must see segment, must see movies, must hear music, must see classic TV show. You want to start this one off?
No, you can go ahead.
All right, so my first must see movie came out in 1998, directed by uh, G. Gary Gray. F. Gary Gray, I said G. F. Gary Gray, the legendary F. Gary Gray. This stars Samuel L. Jackson, Kevin Spacey, T.J. Walsh, David Morse, and Paul Giamatti. This is a top level cast right here. Top level cast. The movie is called The Negotiator. This movie is about basically a cop who was top cop, you know what I mean? And he was making his way through and he was getting that love. They was doing something real slick and sneaky on the other side where they tried to, and you have to watch the rest of the movie. I'm not going to ruin it for y'all, so make sure y'all tap into The Negotiator. Movie number two came out in 2013. It's more of a documentary style, but I normally don't put documentary styles on here, but it's more documentary style. Directed by John Kay Weston and Jane Wells. It stars Daniel Douglas, Nicole Kristoff, Robbery Money. I'm sorry, Robert Money. I said right. It got a Y here. Robert Money and Brooke Allen. This movie is called Tricked. The titles in the movie. It's called Trick. This highlights a vice squad that's going around and trying to put a dent on the sex trafficking industry that's going on in our country. And you have to watch the rest of the movie slash doc. It's very, very informative, very fire, and it's still prevalent still to this day in 2024, and it came out in 2013. So make sure you tap into that. All right, my third and final movie came out in 2006, directed by Hans Horn. It stars Susan M. Pratt, Nicholas Lang, Eric Dane, Richard Sleet Jr., and Cameron Richardson. This movie's called Open Water 2 Adrift. Fire movie, y'all. Fire movie about friends that hit the open water. One of the friends thought it would be a great idea to get off the boat and get into the water, and they don't have a way to get back on the boat because they never pulled the thing down. And you have to watch the rest of the movie. It is a really good movie. Horrible idea of what they did. It's just we from the culture. We don't move like that, but they had to make a movie about that decision. So make sure you tap into my three movies: The Negotiator, Trick, and Open Water 2 Adrift.
Fire movies. Definitely tap into those movies. All right, chat. I normally don't do these type of movies, but bear with me. You know, I have my theme for my movies, but it's a deeper theme. So, you know what I'm saying? I got laid on y'all, but I'm gonna explain it more so on on my other segment of Petty Thoughts Mode, right? So the theme of these movies is new form of slavery, right? So these movies depict slavery in a different form, and we may have not caught it because it has never been brought to us in the light. So bear with me, all right? So I don't like these movies, but they actually, if I went back and watched them and I saw it in a different light, all right? So first movie is called Alice. Came out in 2022. Stars Kiki Palmer, Alicia Watt, Common, Johnny Lee Miller, Sinkoya Walls, Gaius Charles, Hasia Hersey, Vincent Martinez, Craig Stark, Natasha Williams, Sharon Larnay, and Natasha Yvette Williams. It's about a runaway slave who runs
Crazy.
from a plantation and comes across the road and sees the trucker and flags the trucker down. And you got to watch the rest of the movie to find out what happens. Very, very, very interesting movie, but I'll explain how interesting it is later on.
Crazy.
Next movie on the list is Antebellum. Came out in 2020. Stars Janelle Monáe, Robert Armeo, Garbuvier Sendebi, Jenny Malone, Eric Lange, Lily Cowles, Percy Killemans, Jack Hurston, Songay Tricia, Marquette Richardson, London Bruce, and Arabella Landrum. About a key figure who's very prominent in her community, and she goes to a party, drinks something, and wakes up in a place that she has no idea how she got there, and she's trying to escape from it. Very, very interesting movie. Again, I'm gonna explain more on the petty thoughts moment, so you gotta tap in. You know what I'm saying? Last on the list, one of my favorites, very important movie as well, too, is Django. Came out in 2012. Stars Quentin Tarantino, Christopher Waltz, Jamie Foxx, Kerry Washington, Leonardo DiCaprio, Samuel L. Jackson, Walton Goins, Don Johnson, Franco Nero, Laura Coyote, Jonah Hill, and Bruce Dern. It's about a an escaped slave who's trying to find his wife, who's in the South, deep in the South, and he has to find a way to free her. And you got to watch the rest of the movie and figure out how he does that. So, fire movie. So all these movies are very pivotal and very important to my later theme in petty thoughts. So tap in, you know what I'm saying? But they'll definitely tap into those movies.
Yo, Ash, make sure you watch Firefly over the Veterans Day weekend. I tried watching Firefly the other day. In the first 15 minutes lost me. I gotta sit down and try to like really give it a good episode because I really the first 15 minutes with the war going on, it was like, and it felt very time stamped. So I'm gonna try watching it again because the first 15 minutes it was like, what is this? What is this? So I'm gonna try watching it again. I'm gonna try watching it again because y'all been telling me about Firefly for a minute, and I did try to watch like the try to sit down and really watch it, but the first 15 minutes like threw me a little bit. So I'm gonna give it another shot just to really sit down and be like, all right, let me see if I can really get into this. So I didn't forget. I told you I was going to check it out, Roman Jack. I told you. Yo, the movies was fire, bro. The movies was fire. Y'all gonna like the movies as well. All right, moving on to our must hear segment. This theme for this particular segment, um, Neo R&B music, but the artist Neo. Put these three songs on your playlist. Guarantee fire songs. So first song by Neo is "Do You." Second song by Neo is "Sexy Love," and third song by Neo is "So Sick." So make sure y'all put those three on your playlist. Thank me later. Again, the list is "So Sick," "Sexy Love," and "Do You." So make sure you put that on from the artist Neo. All right, moving on to our classic show or must see show. You want to start this one off?
So continuing with my theme, gotta, you know what I'm saying, tap in on the petty thoughts, but a good show to really tap into on how law is being bent. Not so much broken, but you can kind of sort of bend the law. Is a good show to watch. It's called Suits. Came out 2011 and from 2011 to 2019. It has 9 seasons. It stars Gabriel Matchett, Saria Rafferty, Megan the Gina Torres, Rick Hoffman, Patrick J. Adams, Abigail Spencer, Amanda Seahall, and Catherine Heigl. About a high priced lawyer working in the heart of the city, and his law firm takes on big corporate cases. And their name in the game is to basically never go to court, like never go to trial. So their tactics are more so for the conference room, like tit for tat, throwing legalese at the opponent, see if it sticks, see what how they bite, see how they could bend the law a little bit to their aspect, hold people towards bad habits that they had in the past and call them out. Very good show. So I definitely say tap into it, and it's very pivotal in my petty thoughts moment because you know we deal with law, and we gonna see how they use the law to bend the game and put us in a new form of slavery. Tap in with me. I got some cooking with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Suits is an underrated show. All right, my classic or must see TV show. I think this is more of a must see than a classic show. Really good show, but it is must see instead of a classic. It was on for 5 seasons. It came on in 2015. It stars Dwayne the Rock Johnson, John David Washington, Serena Swan, Omar Benson Miller. Sorry, Ariel Kibler and London Brown. The show was called Ballers. This show was about a ex football player going into being an agent with one of his good friends. And I'm not going to ruin it for you. Make sure you tap into it. It basically handles NFL behind the scene. in front of the scene, just the typical life of a former player, current players, in the life of an athlete, and moving and shaking in the sports world is very entertaining, very funny. So make sure y'all check out the show HBO Ballers. So
You
yeah.
know what's crazy? Then don't you remember at the end of the series how this nigga's character was fighting mad hard to get shit moving in Vegas, and me watching, I'm like, this ain't never going to Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And guess what ended up happening? You know, I was like, whoa, the Raiders actually went to Vegas, and they were just talking about on the show, and it was like, nah, that can't happen. So it was very interesting. So I need to go back and watch that show again since all this diddler stuff been happening. So, and really go back and
Hmm.
watch it again. Because remember, he was going mad hard in the first couple of seasons to fight his pill addiction, right?
Yeah.
And then when the board found out about it, you know what I'm saying? Also going hard to keep his license because that was the only way he can make bread.
Hmm.
It's very interesting. I gotta go rewatch that again, son.
And then he pivoted that into not even. See, I'm not gonna ruin it for y'all. Y'all gotta check out the rest of the show. So make sure y'all tap into Ballers. All right, you got cologne for us?
Definitely got cologne for y'all. So if you look good, you feel good, you smell good, you're gonna do good. So I feel you need to tap in with this brand called True Western. The fragrance is called Yellowstone Ride. Pause. But you know what I'm saying? The smell good is just she gonna be on long for the ride anyway. So you need to just tap into True Western, get yourself some Yellowstone Ride, and you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have you a partner soon enough. You heard?
It's a blessing to have the Yellowstone. You know what I'm saying? All right, moving on to our next segment. Y'all already know what time it is. It's time to rap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, where you get classic movies, shows, documentary, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, Button Snaps. First hot topic of the night. We spoke about it a little earlier. Y'all already know what time it is. The presidential election results is in, and Donald Trump is our president. He's president once again. Trump 2024, and he's our president. What do you think about that?
Um, Based upon what I got for cooking for Petty Thoughts moment, y'all gonna see why. But at the end of the day, it's just business as usual. You know what I'm saying? It really doesn't matter who sits in the president's office based upon the information I have, and I'm gonna share with y'all later on. But based upon that, it really doesn't matter because it's all a game at the end of the day.
You know, I find it very interesting because the whole time that we've been talking about the presidential election, my thing, it wasn't to tell people who to vote for. Every time I gave information, it's been on both sides of the park. Whether it's Kamala, I just can't stop saying her name like that, or Donald Trump. They both have shaky past, one way or the other, and we both seen them work. Now, with Kamala, we've seen her in the forms of being the vice president, and her resume wasn't great as the vice president. Um, Donald Trump, I mean, he did get some things shaken for the betterment of the financial situation moving forward, but I know it came from the previous president, which was uh, Barack Obama. Shout out to Vicky in the building. Shout to Vicky in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Uh, but here's the thing. In this particular situation, looking at it today and moving forward, what the country needs is really focus on local government. The president in itself is going to focus on more of the things that we need to see more so is the financial stability of what the tax laws is going to be. That's the main thing that he could affect immediately. But everything else is more locally affected. Most people, when you ask them who's your city government or who's your city councilman, they won't even know it. They won't even know who's the mayor, who's the governor, who is your alderman. Most people don't even know that. Most people don't even know where their office is at. Most people don't even know where to find them. And they easy to find. They probably the most accessible layers of the government in your local community than anything else. You could just walk into their office and have a conversation with them and build and understand what their mindset and their plan is going to be for the local community, the community that you live in, the community that you also pay taxes for. So with this election in itself, I find it very interesting of the backlash that came from it. I mean, it was all types of tropes that was coming from this election. But it was very interesting that less than 48 hours, I should say. It was 24 hours. I'm bugging, right? It's 24 hours, right? Less, right?
Yeah, 48 hours. Yeah.
48 hours, right? So less than 48 hours, you have different countries that's like, yo, whatever beef that was pending, we want to put a course to action to end all beef. We want to get to the money on. We want to open up the gates and get to this money on. We want to keep the peace and get to this bag because we can't go the next 4 years as we had the last 4 years financially. People are losing their homes. People are losing their vehicles, their ability to travel, their ability to just get from work to back, to get to the groceries to back. Like, it's nasty out here financially. People having to take on extra jobs just to make meet ends meet. And that sits with people most importantly. So what Donald Trump represents, most people say, well, he's benefiting off a system that was already, predated before him, which was through the Obama administration. Very true, but let's keep it funky. People don't give credit to Barack Obama regarding that, right? They don't give him that credit regarding that. But doesn't mean that Barack Obama was a great president. That's another fact. Number two, when it comes to Donald Trump, what he represents, you got other countries that's willing to make peace. Opposed to if Kamala was in the presidency, I don't think these other countries would be looking at us with peace on their mind. I think that they would have been looking at us like we would have been food. So at the end of the day, we got to understand these whoever that's in the office is still controlled, and they controlled by the house and the people that they have around them. It's up to us as a community, whether it's local or global, on telling them what we want and what we need, and them trying to give us something that we need. We need money. We need opportunities in our neighborhoods, and we need to lower the cost of living. Those are the things that we need. And when Trump was in office prior to, our economy was thriving. And I feel like if he had another 4 years, that our economy would have took off even more because we regressed afterwards. We went through things that I don't think we would have went through before, like the COVID shot. Soon as Joe Biden came in office, he made people take COVID shots, and then making somebody take something to keep their job is unconstitutional. You had a whole bunch of people that said, I'm not going to take the jab, but they end up losing their job or had to sit out from their job. And then for 2 years later, be like, oh, my bad, we was wrong. And because we was wrong, we want to pay out this money that you're going to get taxed on. All those people that got sent home, they end up getting their money later on. Y'all do know that, right? So at the end of the day, we have to. I'm really happy about this election, mainly because this was an election that most people voted on what they saw in the candidate for what it is. It's not a hate against Kamala. It's not a hate against Donald Trump. People voted for what it is. And there was a whole lot of word salad. There was a whole lot of fear mongering. There was a whole lot of identity tactics where people was trying to get identity votes. I mean, it was a whole lot of tropes going on, and I'm glad people voted for their better interests and what they feel is their better interests more than any other, election that I've seen and been alive for. So that's what I was happy to see about this particular election and how it turned out. Um, I don't know what you think about that, bro. Kicked out for it.
Again, when y'all get to my petty thoughts moment, y'all gonna have a different opinion.
Yeah, I mean, and it's so funny. You had all these types of people on other TV shows, like The View. You had people on the Breakfast Club, like Charlamagne the God, who was really pushing a narrative for Kamala. I know it's probably driving y'all crazy, but I can't stop saying her name like that, yo, because they was really trying to push this narrative on identity politics with her. And had she came out and just stuck to the views instead of trying to identify, oh, I'm this or I'm that, because that became a major issue. Because you're identifying something that the rest of the culture don't see you as. And now when that has chinks in its armor, then that became a whole issue. If she would have stuck to the issue, she probably would have had a better outcome. Uh, She won she lost the popular vote and of course the electoral vote. So that goes to show what people mindset was and seeing for what it is, and all different types of groups was that voted for Joe Biden prior to, or the Democratic prior to, voted for Trump this time around. So it was a very interesting dynamic in this particular election, and I feel like it was easy work for him. The only real support that she got was obviously New York, California. I believe Colorado was a big one for her, and I'm forgetting a Midwest area that was like kind of close, but yeah, I mean the world spoke, and I think we got it right this time. But what I do want to see, because let's keep it real, Donald Trump is not what you would call presidential, but with that being said, moving forward, we should remove certain things from job when people going for jobs moving forward. It shouldn't matter if people are, have felonies at this point. It shouldn't matter. Certain things should not matter moving forward. And that's one of the things that it shouldn't matter. Experience to get a job really shouldn't matter. I mean, it should matter, but I mean, look at the situation. If somebody don't have the classic training or the classic, skills for this job, in order for them to get this job, they have to have skills and training in an area that's so elite for them to even get this classic training. I mean, to get that particular position. So that's what I think about the presidential election, and it is what it is. So you see my brother, he got on his Grambling State University hat, but in the beginning I thought it was the Make American Great hat. But hey, man, the best man won. So for those who mad, get over it. It's a new day, move forward, and we have to deal with what we have to deal with. But tap into your local community and your local councilman. Don't sit up here and be like, oh, Trump this, Trump that. If you're not trying to affect your local council, your local members of council, so you're gonna miss me with all that every single day. You anything you want to add, or you want to save it for petty thoughts?
It's really it's really about class system, right? It's about misclassification of a group of people. So with a stroke of a pen, they just erase excuse me, with a stroke of a pen, they just erase uh just a bunch of people on paper and created a new group of people on paper. And with that new group of people, they created policies and structures and systems in place to now subjugate this new group of people. But this new group of people are an old group. So you've been misclassified. And the problem is because of misclassification, this is the end result of it. You know what I'm saying? This is you voting and doing all this hootenanny that means nothing at the end of the day when you still have to ask the same people for bread and water. When the bread and water used to be yours in the first place, you used to make it and you're back home.
Mhm.
So it's all about misclassification, which I'll go more deeply in petty thoughts moment.
Bet. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. SEPTA workers planning to go on strike tonight. SEPTA workers are people that work in the Philly metropolitan system, bus trains. They planning on going on strike, uh, mainly because obviously the money on they want more money and they want a bigger safety presence and safety precautions. Like it was kind of trippy, but they want a better safety precaution. Sitting in the bus with it shields them. They want to have protective measures on them as far as like a bulletproof vest. That's wild to me that they want to wear bulletproof vests, on the job as bus workers, um, and they want more of a police presence on their routes as well. What do you think about that?
I mean, I feel as though they definitely entitled to all those things that they're asking for. If they're demanding that things, and those are things that are important that they feel that they need to continue doing their job. But the only problem is y'all voted for Biden and and Harris, and then y'all seen all y'all money go to Ukraine. So unfortunately, there is no money for y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's no bread because it went over there.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the end result of when you are misclassified and you asking other people to help you when you had all the power in yourself to do it. But because we were never taught about our misclassification, you ask these peons for help. And then they turn around, take your bread and give it to other people. And when you need the money to do your job, there's no bread. So who you gonna be mad at? You gonna be mad at Trump now? That's
Mm-hmm.
all.
Yeah, I mean the scepter representative spoke. He said the typical I'm willing to listen to their demands. Um, he don't feel like it should be an issue to meet their demands only if and only if financially it's feasible. And you just said it ain't gonna be feasible. So moving forward, they planning on going on strike, and they said this is going to affect the Philly metropolitan area heavily if they can't come to some sort of happy medium or decision moving forward. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. 17-year-old Raymond Ronald Lee Childs II was found guilty for murdering his entire family after an argument about him leaving the house without permission. This was something that happened in Indiana, and sentencing is set for January 6th. I mean, in January. I'm sorry, it's set for in January. He was convicted on 6 counts of murder, 1 count of attempted murder, and 1 count of firearm without a license. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's just as well served. Like honestly, if you um kill your own family for one, that's atrocious. And then for two, the reason that you gave, there is no reason for that. So you know what I'm saying there's just life without the possibility of parole. You know what I'm saying that's the best case scenario right there. So
Hmm.
they for that scenario, justice did what it was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's very unfortunate because when I hear 17, this boy could have been my son. This boy could have been your son. And to raise children in this day and age is very scary because we always say that like the typical thing to say they not built the same. It's like, well, what are we teaching them? And the world that we live in today, it feels like regardless of what we teach them, there's a different message that's being spread to the youth where they feel like crashing out and killing your entire family is an actual option. Like I'm really that upset where I'm going to body the entire house. Like, just to come to that conclusion, where y'all getting this from? Because growing up, I done had plenty of differences with my mom and my dad. It never occurred to me that, you know what? I'm just going to take them out. Like, I'm going to take them out. They said I can't do this. Yeah, they got to go tonight. Tonight is going down. It just never occurred to me. And mind you, we had real situations, and it never occurred to me. My parents was real tough on me. Never occurred to me. Some All my friends went through stuff with their parents, and it never occurred to them to kill their entire household. So what is these young kids learning outside of us? What is going on outside the household that's resonating with them, that this type of behavior is even an option? Because we didn't think like that. It feel like the Freddy Krueger movie where for 30 years, you know, they stripped Freddy Krueger from the books, and nobody even thought of the name. The new generation of kids haven't even thought of Freddy Krueger, but it's like, yo, I keep having this dream about this guy, and the parents be like, oh, don't worry about it. It's probably the Kool-Aid guy. They'll come up with some BS or whatever, and then Freddy Krueger all of a sudden come back. So it's like, what is the messaging that these kids are learning from, whether the TV shows, the messaging in school amongst the teachers? What is the combative message that they're receiving that's going on there that we're teaching them from what we're teaching them at home? Because I just can't fathom this would be even an option.
I don't know per se that this particular situation, but I feel as though a lot of things still have to go back to the old ways. A male presence is always it's always a deterrent. A strong male presence is always a deterrent. Anytime it was times I thought I was gonna crash out, a strong male presence was always there. A strong older male presence, because the older they are, the wiser they are. They lived life longer. I mean, there's
Mm-hmm.
a very famous quote in our favorite show, Martin, where the guy says, old fools used to be young fools." You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you want to keep doing the foolish shit, you're just gonna be an old fool. So if you
Mm-hmm.
see an old man, he got some wisdom for you. Trust me, he done went through all the pitfalls there is, and we try to get away from like, oh, because we have technology and all this. None of this shit means nothing. Because when your pops look at you, you don't need Google to translate what he's saying with his eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One look is enough to quell any type of uh frustrations you may have in your soul. It's gonna come down real quiet. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
even if a male presence is a football coach or whatever and stuff, guess what? You won't be doing up downs.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Crack.
some punishment involved. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So as they say, you have to forge men in iron. You got to forge boys in certain stringent rites of passage. And I feel we've said this many a times, but we've lost these things. We've lost the old way. I feel as though certain old ways is prevalent, because without the old way, we would not be here today. You know what I'm saying? So without the old way, one ancestor way back might have went left, and we might not be here today. You got to think about it like that. So maybe there might have been some with the old ways, because we here now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of us right now watching this live, we here now because one ancestor decided to say, you know what? That OG told me to go right. So I'm gonna go right this time.
Right.
So all I'm
Yeah.
saying is, like, if we had if we had a male presence in a lot of these males' lives, a lot of them wouldn't be crashing out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them would not be crashing out, because the OGs would tell them like, yo, ain't trust me, gangs been around since the 40s. So what are you talking about? None you talking about ain't been done back then. So you know what I'm saying? What, they weren't fighting for block and territory in the 40s?
Yeah. Right.
You
Right.
feel me? So what are you talking about? Because you knew, and y'all wearing a mirror that it's not different. Nah, you guys still fight for yours, right? But now
Yeah.
we gotta do it smart and strategic. You can't be crashing out because your PS5 don't turn up. You
Yeah.
can't crash out. I get it, but you can't crash out if you didn't pay attention or listen to your mom and she delete your 2K career. You know what I'm saying?
Your
No,
bill.
you
My,
got the build to 97, but you fucked up. So you
yeah.
gotta take that L. You gotta start from scratch again. So you gonna crash out for
Right.
imaginary overall. You never gonna be in the league, my boy.
Mm-hmm.
Never. I know you live your dreams out on the PS5. That's cool. But come back to reality, my boy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Come back to
Right.
reality. This is where it's really at. You taking away your family, you took your life away. So I feel with more male presence now and moving forward and getting back to the old way, like strong values, like yo, go take out the trash, go mow the lawn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think the old ways could work best.
And not for nothing, like for myself, I've always been around older, strong men growing up. You know what I mean? Like I boxed, I played football, I played basketball, and I've been around some real G's. And then my brother, I had an older brother, and anytime I said something like real reckless to my mother or something like that, he was like, yo, if I catch you talking to mommy like that again, like I'm snuffing you like straight off the bat. And he was dead serious. So I had to always keep like a calm type movement because my brother was staying on business. You know what I'm saying? So and then my father he like you said, my father had the type of look at a certain age where if he looked at me, it was like, yeah, let me chill. You know what I'm saying? So it does make a difference, and a male figure is so necessary and so needed that it keeps things checked. Um, so this particular situation is very unfortunate, but we're starting to see a trend, and they calling the new kids YNs. And these YNs are kids that feel like they're going to walk around and crash out and throw their life away. We just seen another 17-year-old kid kill 2 people, injure 6 more, 5 minutes from where I live on the strip of Orlando. And he was 17 years old, crashing out, and they calling them young YNs. And a lot of this is because of the lack of strong male figures, the lack of, like you said, rites of passage programs and things of that nature. And there has to be an underlying message from what they're learning outside of the household where they congregate the most. What you teach them in the house is cool, but what they learn on the outside is even more prevalent. That's why parents back then cared about knowing who your friends is, knowing who their parents were. They cared about stuff like that. Like, yo, mom, I want to have my friend over. It's cool. Yeah, yeah, bring his little ass in here. I want to see where he come from. I want to see what type of energy he coming in here with, who his people is. So we used to care about those type of things, and as parents I think we do now as well too, but the messaging is getting mixed up from the household to where they're in school, and the reinforcement with the teachers, because it's not on the teachers, but there has to be some sort of reinforcement of the messaging. So that is getting convoluted some way, somehow. And I believe school is becoming less and less of a need for our society because we learned through COVID that we don't really need school. We learned through COVID that school is not necessary for kids to learn. Y'all do know that, right? It's not necessary for kids to learn at school. You can homeschool your children, but how many people is actually going to dedicate their time to homeschool their children? How many people is going to dedicate their time to give a curriculum that they're going to learn, but they can learn more at home because not only they can learn about math, English, and science, they can learn about credit, taxes, plumbing, trade, all types of stuff they can learn at home if parents dedicate their time. So school is really to be sociable, learn how to be social. But even that is becoming convoluted because of the rise of social media. So it's a lot going on with this messaging where our kids is feeling like crashing out like this is an option. Uh, yo, the chat is buzzing, man. Yo, shout out to Biggs. Biggs is in the building. Big's in the middle. My 3-year-old daughter has caught a swat and got mad at my mommy and tried to chew and pinch. She wanted daddy's hugs and afterwards. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, kids need to learn that stove is hot. If you go too far, you're gonna get your ass whooped. And if you're not in the house, when you're out and about in the community, you're liable to get your ass whooped out and about in the community. Simple and point blank. So when kids are not in the house, they don't feel that there is no reinforcement from what they're learning. So that's a part of it as well. I moving on to our next hot topic. Uh, have you ever heard of this saying, bro? And what do you think about this saying alone? If you want to see us, if you want to see what you look like, look in the mirror. If you want to if you want to see who you are, look at your kids. What do you think about that quote?
Um, I in a sense, probably you could see yourself in your kids, but they're gonna grow up to be their own person. You know what I'm saying? So maybe certain traits, maybe certain like attributes, like maybe how you would scratch your nose, or you know what I'm saying, maybe like certain how you would sit down and how you would cross your, you know what I'm saying, certain things like that would pass on. But how I am, would I say that I see that in my daughter? I would probably say I see the like the adventurous side of me, like the no fear side, but maybe because she's young still, so the not having the fear part, testing boundaries and all that. But again, I feel like our children just they come from us, but they not us because they're their own person. You know what I'm saying? They come out their own person. So we create them, but we allow them, they grow up to be their own. So I agree somewhat with the aspect of yes, you see yourself in the mirror, but even that's convoluted because you actually don't never really see your real true self because the mirror is the reflection is inverted.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So you don't really see your true self because every time you look in the mirror, it's not a reflection of yourself, it's the inverted version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because the mirror makes it so even that part ain't really true. So the saying breaks down in its own head because you don't really truly see your true self because the mirror is inverted and your children are their own soul, their own person as soon as they come out. So
hmm
yeah, I don't buy it.
hmm I'm with you. I don't. I honestly believe if you want to see yourself, look at the people that you have around you. Look at your friends. I'm talking about the people that care for you in your life. Not everybody. I'm talking about the people that care for you. If you want to see yourself, the people that care for you, that's who that's who you could really see yourself, how you can measure seeing yourself. The people that care about you, how they look at you. The fact on if you want to see yourself, look at your kids. Like I'm looking at it from two ways because I am a son and I'm also a father, right? So from my father's eyes, me and my father was with different men. Mind you, me and my father had a big brother, little brother type of relationship. We argued all the time, every day. But that was my guy though. If he was to call me about anything, I had his back. Uh, but we was different men, is the point that I'm making. Now my daughter, on the other hand, she does have a lot of my ways. I will say that because she grew up in my household and things of that nature. She do have a lot of my ways, but she's not me. She's her own person. She's her own young lady, um, and she has her own personality. I'm a little bit more, life of the party a little bit, and she's more reserved, and I like that for her. So when they say when you want to see who you are, look at your children. and based on the values that you teach your children, like even the values that my parents taught me, it wasn't necessarily passed down to my daughter because we live in a different time. We live in a different period. So I can't pass on the same exact thing, but I could pass on certain things that's for foundational that could benefit her mind, her spirit, her energy, her heart. And that's what I tried my best to do that. Because parents, there's no book to parenting. So all you could do is try your best. And like your intentions and what your kids receive from your intentions is not the same thing. Your intentions to be a parent and teach them certain lessons, what they receive from it is not always what you intended. And I'm speaking from being a son and being a father. So because I have those two different perspectives, there's a lot of things that my parents intended to teach me with the lesson that they try to teach me, but I didn't receive that. All I felt was the smoke, right? So same thing with my daughter. It was things that I ain't gonna say probably, it's things that the intention was to teach you this, and she took that. So I don't agree with the statement. If you want to see yourself, if you want to see yourself, look in the mirror. If you want to see who you are, look at your kids. So I don't agree on that as well. Uh, with Rowan Jack, she knows her boundaries now. Talking about his daughter, I don't have friends, so my son too different from me. See, with mothers and sons, it's a real crazy dynamic because like the sons, you like the mama, that's our first love. You know what I'm saying? That's our first teacher. That's the person that we tie our morality in life to, right? But the lessons that we really learn that takes us to the next level is from the male figures in our life, learning how to handle situations. So I can definitely see how a mom raising her son doesn't mean he's her. He's has her energy or something like that. So I can see that. I can see that big. I can see that. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Cameras captured former Washington football player Tylen Rogers and Dizelle Gordon assaulting a bicyclist. Uh, Tylen also is also very interesting. Tylen Rogers is currently facing 2 rape charges, and he's out on $300,000 bond. What do you think about that?
So it's the end of the year crash out. You know what I'm saying? We
Mm,
got 2 for 1 special right now. So
mm,
it's the season for crash out. So we're just gonna see more and more people crashing out. A lot of dirty deeds is gonna be undone. And then on
mhm.
top of that, you just out here just taking it too. All right.
Yeah,
We got something for you come trial. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, yeah.
not saying, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. So this is all alleged, but it doesn't look good for you, my boy. You know what I'm saying? You're already
Mhm.
out on and you caught a new charge. You know what I'm saying? So you just making your lawyer just hate you that much more. Send that bill to him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, his bill is coming to him. Somebody coming up there with your bill. You know what I'm saying?
All that NIL money, go on. All that NIL money.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of more crashing out. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
this is it's bad, but you know what I'm saying? You have to just make better decisions in life. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
there's no excuse for none of it.
I mean, the video looks horrible. I watched the video, and we don't know if the bicyclist could have, you know, agitated the situation. All we see is that the bicyclist, like, look, I don't want no issue. They rocked him off the bike. They got him cornered, and he's like on the floor. The bike is over here, and they all top of him. And we're talking about former football players, so they're going to be a bit opposing, and it looks terrible. It looks like what it says. It looks like it was assault, and it was aggravated assault on top of that. So It doesn't look good. Plus the like you said, plus the rape cases that's looming. It just doesn't look good. So
You have a history of playing a violent sport, so it just doesn't look good for you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
Fit the
I
profile, fortunately.
yeah. No, that's a fact. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Courtney Burgess has 8 Diddy tapes. Six with males on the tape, two with female celebrities. Um, about 4 days ago, about no, I'm sorry, about like 5 days ago, two were minors allegedly as well. About a week ago, I should say, he later testified in court that the tapes that he received, the tapes and the USBs that he received, was given to him by Kim Porter, who happens to be Kim Porter. Kim Porter happens to be Diddy's baby mother. I'm not sure if they ever got married. And this was all for her book. What do you think about that?
I don't know. People gotta be very, very, very careful when they talk about they have these tapes or they have these SD cards with incriminating evidence on the sexual nature, because if God forbid some of the content has underage children per se, you could be liable for child pornography, even if though you're now transporting it for safekeeping to a third party. You know what I'm saying? So it's a very great area with all these supposed tapes. And then with these tapes now, are they showcasing crimes? Is there showcase a big deal going down? Is he talking to El Chapo to get that 150 bricks? You know what I'm saying? So in
Mhm.
these videos, what crime is being committed? Because
He's saying that it is alleged, but he's saying that it was sexual acts.
all right, so if there's sexual acts now, it has to be the parties involved, which eventually will get the names of whatever tapes and who the parties were involved, and they're gonna have to explain the scenarios and then again, what is the crime?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not assuming every damn party there was underage uh attendees there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure a bunch of these videos is just showcasing willing participants in the sexual nature. Because you're going to tell me you force people to come to a party, force them to drink, and then force them to do sexual acts the whole time in front of other witnesses, and nobody seen this person being forced to do something against their will. So it's like, what crime is being committed in these tapes? Are we is there a crime being committed, or are we just trying to expose celebrities just for the salacious part of it?
Mm.
So if there's no crime being committed here, what is the point of the tapes?
Well, they did say at least two of them were minors.
All right, so those two is what we talking about. The rest of the tapes is inadmissible if there's no crime being committed. Well, what is the point by law aspect? If we're going towards the law, what is the point of the sex tapes if there's no crime being committed? Is there any unlawful act being committed during during the taping of these events?
Hmm.
If no, then what are we talking about? So it just seems as another way to discredit and make Diddy look terrible before court because it's public opinion now. Because if there's no crime in these other tapes, then why are you talking about these other tapes? You should be talking about the two tapes that actually have a crime being committed in the tapes.
Hmm.
And make sure you have a lawyer present with you while you administering the tapes, because you could be liable too. Because what you doing with the tapes?
Hmm.
How'd you get them?
Well, I
What,
mean, he said how you
what,
got them. He said how you got them.
and what was the chain of command? Has it been lawful throughout the whole process? You know what I'm saying? So again, like if you have two tapes that showcase crimes and those are the tapes that should be more important, if the rest of them ain't showing no crimes, then what are we talking about?
Mm. Mm. Man, this is going to be interesting. I mean, he was speaking to his kids the other day. They now all of a sudden they play, jail conversations, and and it did not sound AI created, but it sounded like I think he celebrated his birthday in jail, and he was just like, "Yo, Thanks for staying in my corner. I'm going to be home soon. And it don't seem like that. I mean, at the end of the day, this case have yet to this case has yet to be. There's no trial for the case yet. As far as them with the discovery, what's on it, the crimes that's being committed. Right now, they have a case. They feel like they have a case. When the feds come and get you, they're gonna make a case before they come and get you. Or whatever case that they feel that they have, y'all gotta put it out to the public. Y'all gotta. He has to have his day in court. And when they have y'all day in court, y'all gotta say what he did, and y'all gotta have the proof of what he did. Because other than that, this is all window dressing. So if they don't have none of this and they keep finding this witness and this particular person, then all this is what? So, but the day in court, that will matter the most. Because when you go to court, you need to have your proof. You need to say this to the jurors and say, here's the proof of what we have. Look at what we've been watching. This is the person who we identified. This is the crime that's being committed. Because other than that, it's going to be a waste of time. So they definitely better have their ducks in a row. I mean, they do have a history of doing that, but we will see. And this is just another thing to compound to what he's going through. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Eddie Murphy is set to play legendary George Clinton from the Parliament Funkadelic in a biopic. And also, Bill Condon is the director. Well, Bill Condon is going to be the director. He's also from Dreamgirls. What do you think about the new project?
I think it'll be a very good project. He did very good in Dolomite.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see him bring out George Clinton. And I don't really know too much about George Clinton's life. I know some of his music, but like him as an artist and like how he became who he is, like I don't know like his story. So I would love to see what his story is about, see the movie, and then go do my own research and go deeper into, because you know what I'm saying, that whole funkadelic era, I feel as though like it's like damn
Wild Boys.
it wasn't enough. You know what I'm saying? It just seemed like it just went too fast or whatever. And if it wasn't for like a couple of samples from Snoop Dogg songs and stuff like that, using a lot of George Clinton, and I'm pretty
Yeah.
a lot of other artists, of course, but Snoop Dogg just had a way of using George Clinton that made me go and look and listen to George Clinton's songs. Like, nah, what is this? This
Yeah.
okay? So I would definitely love to see that project for sure.
I think it's going to be a fire project as well. I mean, a dude as talented as Eddie Murphy doesn't get the credit for acting, and Eddie's acting is second to none to me. Like he's top tier actor. Not to mention he's funny as well. I think this is gonna go crazy. Eddie Murphy has a background in music. He is also an artist. He's a dope reggae artist as well. For people that haven't heard of his music, but if you listen to them Eddie reggae albums, some joints go hard. Um, and his depth and his ability to play, you know, like you said, the Dolomite biopic. He was playing Rudy Ray Moore, who was also known as Dolomite, and then playing James Early in Dreams Girl. It felt like he based that character off somebody that we feel that we've seen before. So I think this is going to be a out the park project for him. Um, I know of George Clinton a little bit, mainly because my dad used to share stories about me, share stories about me about to me about George Clinton and just how trippy not only George Clinton was, but his crew. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta remember, there was a dude in the crew that was like, "Yo, I'm just gonna go out there with a diaper, be like, I don't want no shirt, just a straight diaper, and you know what I'm saying? Just call me Sir Funks a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's my new name." So
Wasn't that dude that was like a spaceship or something like that? Like they had some. That's what I'm saying. That era that they was doing, they was different. That's all I'm gonna say, son. So I need to see all that different energy that they was bringing onto the stage. You know what I'm saying, I want to see that in that Bible thing. So.
I can tell you one thing from what my pops told me. It was a whole lot of coke, a whole lot of psychedelic drugs all mixed in. Like they the original party. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because they was talking about they about to hit the space and the moon coming down. They talking about ain't no gravity up there. You could get high and never come down. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, for real. Like it's a whole lot of that was the original party. Like I don't think Diddy came up with the baby oil and the liquid drugs out of nowhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they the original, like, cause you gotta mind you, it's a crew of like 20 heads, bro. And they just out there just funky. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're not funky stink wise, but funky on the music. And they felt like the higher they got, the better the music is. Like, you know, they going, it's a trip, you know what I'm saying? So this is the original party. So I'm definitely want to see this biopic. I'm looking forward to seeing this. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. I gotta give a quick shout out to some athletes that's doing their thing. So a quick shout out to 7-1 forward from Cretan University, basketball player Ryan Clock Bender had a historic night, dropping 49 points in the college game, bro. 49 points. He went 20 for 21, 11 rebounds. So shout out to him and shout out to Jordan Watkins against Arkansas, and he plays on Ole Miss, by the way. He had 8 receptions for 254 yards, bro. 254, 5 tuds. Shout out to Jordan Watkins doing his thing. All right, moving on to our next hot topic, college football ash picks for the week, y'all. If you're trying to win some money, mess with your boy. I'm telling you, I know college football. Last week I went 3 for 2. The week prior to I went 5-0. So mess with me, y'all. First game that y'all should look into, number 19 Clemson at Virginia Tech. This is going to be a tough game for Clemson. Tough game because they playing at Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech can upset this team. But Clemson need to get back on track because they lost last week. So I'm going with Clemson beating Virginia Tech at Virginia Tech. And only because they're playing in the afternoon. If they was playing a late night game, I would have definitely went with Virginia Tech. So I'm going with Clemson for that game. Washington at number 6 Penn State. I'm going with Penn State. Last week, Penn State lost in a close game to Ohio State because their quarterback, all-world quarterback, on game day just he got hurt out of nowhere. I don't know if he was at the at the party doing beer bongs or whatever, but they're going to get back on track this week. I got Penn State beating Washington. Number 2 Georgia is at number 16 Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a whole problem. Oh, and I just told you about the boy Watkins that put up them numbers, but Georgia is going to put that work on them. I don't think Georgia is going to fall to Ole Miss at Ole Miss. I'm going with number 2 Georgia. They do for a really good game. Georgia's due for a really good game. Got number 11 Bama at number 14 LSU. Bama gonna come in there rolling, doing their thing, but it's a night game. I'm going with LSU. LSU got one of the best quarterbacks in college football right now. He's on fire right now. I'm going with LSU for the upset. Colorado at Texas Tech. This is going to be a big game tomorrow. A very big game. Probably they're going to probably have the most ratings out of everybody tomorrow. So make sure y'all find that game. Colorado at Texas Tech. I'm going with Colorado, dog. I got Colorado. So make sure y'all tap into my picks. Y'all trying to bet, win some money. You're welcome. All right, moving on to our next segment. This segment is brought to you by Big Bravo Section. Make sure you go to bigbravosection.com. Again, bigbravosection.com. If you're in the Miami area, you can book a session with one of the best photographers in the world. If you're not, you can still book that session. They'll fly out, take care of your session, and you go buy some dope photography on the website by itself. So make sure again you tap into bigbravosection.com. You got a petty thought for us. You know what I'm saying? We've been waiting for this all night, baby. You know what I mean?
So y'all spoiler alert. So the movies I just mentioned, if y'all ain't see them, too bad. I'm spoiling them for you. All right. So, but before I do that, let me break down some words from the Black's Law, right? But these are specific words because we just had an election, people up in arms, or people feel good about themselves. So I'm about to just hit it. I'm about to just go in, right? So first word on the list. This is not a word from the Black's Law Dictionary, but I needed this word because in Black's Law Dictionary, it's a totally different word. So this word is called peon, right? So peon usually refers to a person subject to peonage, any form of waged labor, financial exploitation, coercive economic practice, or policy in which the victim or laborer has little control over employment or economic conditions. So that's peon, right? So the word in Black's law is involuntary servitude. So involuntary servitude is the condition of one who is compelled by force, coercion, or imprisonment, and um, what's his word? And against his will to labor for another, whether he is paid or not. Slavery, peonage, or compulsory labor often offer debts, all of which are prohibited by the 13th Amendment, right? So the 13th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution was abolished slavery and involuntary servitude in 1865, right? But wait a minute. Remember, I told you there's a catch, right? So
Uh-huh.
remember, I told you the misclassification. This is where they used the pen and took a bunch of people and misclassified them and put them in a different category. So now, because you were misclassified, now they can use involuntary servitude on you, even though you was just in slavery. Your physical labor was in slavery, right? So you just got emancipated off slavery. So physically, you're not supposed to be enslaved no more. But what they did was they put you back in slavery on paper. So now with slavery being on paper, now they created a new system to keep you enslaved, which would be called peonage, where now that you're a newly free slave, right? You don't even know nothing about the outside world. All you know is the plantation, right? So the plantation owner tells you like, yo, you know what? Yo, just chill. I know you free, but yeah, I'm saying I'm gonna just have you work for one more year, right? Just pay off this little debt for one more year, and just bring in this load of crop for this amount of weight after a year, and you should be good. But guess what? Once that year comes and you get that load, they keep raising it. They keep raising your debt. You keep raising your debt. You keep raising your debt, and it gets to the point where you never get out the debt, and now you become an indentured slave to the plantation, even though you were just released by the 13th Amendment. Now, why I say this is so prevalent and why the game is so cold because it happened in 1865, but guess what? Mississippi rejected it in December of 1865. Guess when they decided to bring it back? March 16th, 1995. So that means that if there were still slaves that were never known about being free in the rural parts of Mississippi, chances are that there were still slaves in the 60s and 70s. And why that is, the Wall family of May MacArthur were sharecroppers in Galesburg, Mississippi. At the end of the crop year, they were told that they didn't have enough money to pay the seeds, the tools, and other items for the next coming year, putting them in deeper and deeper in debt. They were not free from bondage until 1960s. Okay, so I don't want to hear nothing about the Democratic Party and the Republican Party when in 1995 they finally went back in Mississippi and said, okay, now we're gonna implement the 13th Amendment. But remember, it's a paperwork game. So yes, they had the meeting to have the 13th Amendment ratified in Mississippi in 1995. But guess what? It didn't get certified until February 7th of 2013. So from 1965 to 2013, how many presidents knew about peonage in states like Mississippi? Case in point, your Federal Bureau of Investigation gave a document to the President of the United States in 1943 talking about Jackson, Mississippi, a plantation owner named by the name J. Walter Ward had Negroes born on his plantation and must remain there for the rest of their life. There was a document that sent to the President Roosevelt in 1943 begging and pleading for them to get rid of peonage, and they did not do so until who knows if all the states ratified it. Now you would have to figure that part, but oh, you know what I'm saying? So the movies I mentioned, Antebellum and Alice, were talking about the Walls family. So if you watch Alice and Antebellum, Alice is a movie about a slave who runs out from her slave master, runs out the forest, never knew nothing about nothing else. All they knew was a slave, and they knew past that gate it was a whole new world. So Shorty finally ran out the gate, ran past the forest and all that, ran into a street, never even knew about a street existed in her life. This is real life shit. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Real life shit. She runs into a street, sees a truck. Mind you, she's been in a plantation your whole life. You never even seen what a truck looked like. So this is why I say the paperwork game is so crazy. Antebellum is the same movie with that dichotomy and vision of taking a person, putting into that plantation, but it's actually real. This is real shit. This happened into a real family. And Django is so important because Django's whole purpose in the movie was to get the paperwork that said he was free. But without that paperwork, yeah, you could say you free, but how you gonna prove it? So the
Mhm.
paperwork proves that you know what you're talking about. So if you're telling me you're Democrat and you're Republican, that means nothing if you still misclassified and under all these other systems. So that's why they could constantly keep playing with you because of your misclassification. So you need to go back and figure out what the game is really being played on because it's way deeper than Republican and Democrat. Because obviously they ain't give a fuck. Because how many elections happened? You know what I mean? Since 1865 to 2013.
Mhm.
How many presidents sat in this office, read these ledgers, and kept business going? So that's my petty thought moment.
Y'all gonna have a head trip when y'all watch Alice and Antebellum. I'll tell y'all that right now. There's gonna be a head trip. So
So it's even more of a head trip when you know it actually is real. So when these directors and these movies I tell you that I watch is for a certain reason because these directors is trying to put your own game and y'all steadily not figuring out, y'all steadily playing with your ops, y'all steadily playing with young YNs. I don't know what none of that stuff means. And the game is constantly being played on you. And it's getting to a point where your enemies is just they just don't care no more. They just gonna put it flat on your face, and if you get it, you don't. So it's at the stage in this game now. It's like they they don't care. So if you don't care about what the real game is really being played on you, you think your enemy really give a fuck? You know what I'm saying? So enjoy those movies though. By the way,
facts. I always feel like Antebellum, uh,
I thought that it was placate. You know what I'm saying? Because the concept of the movie was crazy.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? The concept of the movie was bewildering to me. But when I thought the joke was on me, I was like, damn, Hollywood, you did it again. I
yeah,
gotta give it to you. Very crafty.
yeah,
Because you caught me. Because I thought it was and when I seen Alice, I'm like, yo, y'all niggas is tripping. This is
yeah.
a good movie, but the concept was like, nah, ain't no way. And then when I finally seen, you know what I'm saying? It my heart stopped a little bit. Because we
Mhm.
talking about in the 60s when you got fools talking about civil rights, but meanwhile, they in Mississippi in the same state where
Yeah,
Buddy and them was trapped in.
yeah,
So the
yeah.
game is just crazy. They keep playing the same game on y'all. And it's just that's why I say I'm just here to report, just observe and report at this stage in the game because participating in the game is just foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
how deep the game goes. Y'all talking about independent boss chick and this, that, and the third. It's like that means nothing.
Mhm.
It literally means nothing in the grander scheme of things because the joke is still on us, still to this day. Even when we got all these billionaires, guess what? They still playing the game to benefit them.
Mhm.
So Why are you idolizing these people when they know the game and they're using the game against you, my boy? Against me, against my boy right here, against us, all of us. I'm not excused from it. Just because I got some knowledge, that don't mean I'm not somewhat removed from the game. I'm still caught in the game too. So we still in this together. So when I see my fellow brothers and sisters still getting caught with the chicken sandwich, still getting caught with the Hawaiian punch, now y'all getting caught with some baby oil. Like, come on, dog. Stop fucking partying. Pay attention. Real talk, man. 2025, y'all gotta stop partying.
Stop having dirty parties at that. You know what I'm
Dead
saying?
ass, no more dirty parties neither. No more Diddy parties, no more baby oil. Put the champagne down. Y'all drank enough. Put the bottles down. Put the sections away. Y'all good. You know what I'm saying? Y'all done partied enough.
I always felt like Alice, Antebellum, and They Clone Tyrone is made in the same universe. Because if you connect all three movies, it's a head trip, and then when you connect them, you like, yo, this is the mentality. And they're gonna keep running the same play, just running. And at this point, like, it's to the point where it's like, yo, shout out to Rowan Jack, shout
That's a
out
wrong. But he's $7. Agent 47.
to Stupid. Appreciate you, Rowan Jack. You know,
Yeah, I
black
got you on the Black Law terms for sure. Rowan Jack. Shout out to you. You always
support.
support and always show love. I appreciate you, bro. You definitely need to move out of Washington. I don't know why you in that state. We need you down here in Florida where it's nice and sunny. Get you some tan and some sun and some Bahama mamas, and
You
you're
know,
gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying?
and I'll put you on. Well, I can't put him on to the mamas because he married. So respect to
I'm
your.
talking about the drink, Bahama mama drink.
Yeah, nah.
Get
I
you
don't
with
think
the little umbrella. You know what I'm
the
saying?
umbrella drinks. You know what I'm
And
saying?
please don't wear no peacock shirts with seagulls and flamingos on it. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, so bro can't come out here with the
Don't do the pastels.
pastels.
Don't do the pastels. You know?
Bro
Get you
can't come
some
out
white
here.
beaters. You know what I'm saying?
He can't come out here with the salmon with the salmon color. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Fly.
you can't come out here with the fuchsia button up. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you can't do that.
But yeah, I always felt like the movies was made in the same universe, and the trip is crazy, and the messaging, and they keep running the same play, and the biggest part about it is that the energy that we put out as a culture is so misplaced and is so misused, and we're willing to crash out as a community for all the wrong things. Like the YNs, their mindset, the YN mentality is you ready to crash out against somebody from your own culture instead of crashing out for something that matters in life. You want to crash out over your family. You want to crash out over your belief system that benefits your family and your community. Yeah, not just crashing out because somebody looked at you wrong in the crowd. So that mentality is being played over and over, and then we see the tropes. Then we see, the chicken sandwich, because y'all know my formula. There's the chicken sandwich. There's the real thing. Is the thing that they're trying to pass, and there's something that we're going to miss on top of that. So it's four different ways for this chicken sandwich to work. So watch these movies is basically what I'm saying, and y'all see what we're talking about. All right, moving on to our next segment. Our next segment, keep the lie live segment.
Keep the lie alive.
The lie live. So my keep the lie live for this episode, being that's the 1 year anniversary show. We've been on for 1 year, y'all. One whole year we've been on as a podcast. This podcast been on for one whole year. So my keep the lie live for this one is that friendships changes. Friendships changes. And friendships is so crazy because somebody mentioned friendships in the chat. I think it was Vicky. I think Vicky mentioned friendships in the chat. Friendships changes throughout time because people grow and people just be on different things, right? But we have to learn how to place friendships and place people that we know. So what I mean by that is this, to clean it up real quick. You have to learn how to place people as people that you know, acquaintances, friends, bro. For women, instead of bro, it'd be sis, or if your friend is a guy, bro, right? You have to learn how to place people in these different parts. But the part that they play is not always going to be exclusive to that part of their friendship. What I mean by that is this: if you meet somebody, y'all get cool, now they become your friend. Your beliefs as your friendship grows, they may change based on the belief structure. So if you believe in one thing and they believe in another, it may force you to look at them a certain type of way because what their foundational value doesn't align with your foundational value. So you have to learn to take that friend and make them an acquaintance. So that way their energy and their space don't invade your growth. And you have to learn how to dictate and use those different types of relationships, whether it goes up and down, to then figure out how it moves forward. Because I've lost friends throughout the years mainly because of lack of communication. So what I mean by that is at one point we was dogs. We was rolling every day. And because I move over here or because I'm on this particular type of energy, I don't hear from them anymore. When I reach out and say, "Hey man, what's good? What's going on?" The energy is no longer the same because of the perception of how they see me or how I see them. So you have to learn how to take the acquaintance and turn them into a friendship. And now when it doesn't benefit, moving back to acquaintance and moving them to somebody that you know. Doesn't mean it has to be toxic, doesn't mean it has to be bad, but you have to learn how to dictate and figure your energy amongst your friend or the people that you know situation. Like I have friends that I treat as friends, but I don't treat them like my bro. I don't treat them like a sis because they're my friends. It's two separate things. People who are my friends, I don't treat as an acquaintance. That's not somebody that's some acquaintance is somebody I know. I'm cool with them, but they're not my friend. I'm not gonna call them. I'm not gonna try to chop it up. I'm not gonna try to get with them. But when I see them, I'm gonna show them love. See what I'm saying? Like I even differentiate relatives and family because there's a difference. Relatives will find every excuse to disrespect you. Friends will find family will find every excuse to respect you. Your family is who you say is your family, but also family could change as well because you have to the people that are your family is always going to keep it real with you, whether you necessarily want to hear it or not. But there's a way that they do it respectfully. There's a way that they do it with the sole purpose of getting a message across that's going to help you grow. When somebody's trying to tell you something just to tell you something, then that's not really based in foundational love. What's based in foundational love is something that's in your growth, whether it's something that you need to hear or don't want to hear. So if you need to hear the truth and it's coming from a place of growth and a place of love, then that's family.
Mhm.
When somebody just want to tell you something just to get that off, like I feel like I just need to tell you this just cause, you could place them in a whole nother bracket. These are people that's not entrenched and engulfed into your growth. So be very aware on how you place people, whether they're somebody that you know, an acquaintance, friends, bros, family, and relatives. Relatives are something that you're born into. You can't do anything about relatives, but some of your relatives could definitely be family. So,
Owen Jack trying to party when you get down to Florida.
oh man, you're Roy Jack. I'm gonna hurt you, man. I'm gonna hurt you.
You trying to parties.
What value
But no, that's a fact.
Florida?
It's just knowing that sometimes it's not good to mix certain different friend groups with other friend groups. Just knowing value you're bringing to your friend and what value they're bringing to you, as long as it stays mutual and y'all both in the same accord, then it's a beneficial friendship for that particular person. So you could have I've noticed that you can't, it's not like different levels of friendship, but it's like you have, like, you show love to your friends in different forms. You know what I'm saying? Because one friend may not like public affection, like giving up. You know what I'm saying? Certain ways of like showing how you love, to how you want to show love to them. So because you know them, you would do for one friend differently than you would do for another one. But you're showing them love equally, but they receive the love differently. You know what I'm saying? So knowing that aspect, you want to showcase the love based upon how the frequency on how they receive it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just knowing that bond with that particular person and having that bond and knowing that if it's still beneficial with y'all and moving forward and into the later years of your life. Because even with friends, families, relatives, y'all never always gonna see eye to eye. Like, it's never gonna be a situation where everybody's always agreeing, because that's not how human beings are. You know what I'm saying? Bonds and loyalties always shift just like the sands of time. You know what I'm saying? So it's just always staying true, standing on your square, standing true to your principles, right? And uh they say never bend or never waver, but you know what I mean, trees bend in the wind, so but they don't break unless it's Hurricane 5. So that's a whole different point. But I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying, you gotta bend and weave and bob and use your weaves like Shanae did in the hallway. You know what I'm saying? So
Bob, use your weave. You know what I'm saying? Bob.
damn, you look like you got hit with the back of the classics, man. I'm sorry. It's always gonna be quotes upon quotes, man.
Matter of fact, I got my Martin jacket on right now. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
that What's Up third season started. You know what I'm saying?
You know
When
what I'm
they
saying?
switched up the opening credits and all that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, these niggas got graphics? Oh shit, Roman got the big bucks. You know what I'm saying? Remember he had the graphics going on? It's like, oh snap. So he on some 3D joke now. You know he getting them good dollars, you heard?
Y'all give it up for G knowledge. Tommy, damn well you ain't no G knowledge. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like even me and you, bro, we met 20 years ago, bro. 20 years ago in 2004, bro, in college. And we've been brothers ever since. You know what I'm saying? So um that's what I mean by having the difference between family and relatives, the changing of the friendship, uh, the ups and downs, and learning how to protect your energy and learning how to teach your friends how to respect you and respect your energy and learn how to like move this thing forward. Like I say this regarding romantic relationships, but this also go into friendships as well. You have to learn how to have the uncomfortable conversation and be resolution based. If you are not able to do that, then things don't grow. Things don't move forward. I've had friends since I was born, and I had to cut some of them off a couple years back, and it broke my heart because their foundational values and morals have completely changed. And once I learned that, I realized that we are no longer friends. You're now somebody that I know. And I don't hate you, but I know that because our morality is not lined up, our sensibilities is not the same, and your sensibilities can actually jeopardize me and mine, then I have to keep you at a distance. So you have to learn how to maneuver and be able to situate that in this thing called life and being an adult. All right, y'all. Yo, that was today's show, man. We appreciate y'all tapping in for episode 105 on this Thursday episode. Uh, I want to thank some of the sponsors of the show: Bravo Section, Button Snaps, and OUV Records. If you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, hit me up on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild, or you can hit my brother on his Instagram at
Bravo section underscore.
So if you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, hit us up on Instagram. Also, make sure y'all tap into the Overstand podcast. While understand where you go overstand every Monday at 9:30. Make sure you tap into on this channel. Also, be on the lookout for my new project, the EP Summer 008. I'm still working on it, but it's well worth the wait. I'm telling y'all, this joint is fire. So stay tuned. All right, but me in between time on all music platforms, just type in Ashley Lovechild, and you're welcome. I appreciate y'all tapping into the music. I know my brother got his. He wants something he want to promote.
Tap into my website as always, bigbravosection.com.
Fire. So make sure y'all tap in. Again, I want to thank y'all, the supporters, man. Thank y'all so much. We appreciate y'all tapping in 2 times a week. And also to the rewatches, we got over 200 videos for this podcast alone on this channel. So make sure you tap in to the rewatches, y'all. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Hit that all notification pop up. Now, you don't know. Make sure you tap into the membership portion of the page, because different memberships have different access to the page. You also get a cool badge as well. So make sure y'all tap in. I got some merchandise coming to y'all as well for those that tapped in for the 100th episode show. And again, man, we want to thank y'all for that support. We'll be back out, of course, on Sunday at 10:30. So you already know, man. It's all love, and we out of here.
We out.